Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we will be going over why we still don't love natural 4C hair. Don't forget to leave a comment, like or subscribe, and I highly encourage you to go and watch the original video.
The first challenge is versatility. I feel like I don't have so much hair to be able to try out different styles, and most of the styles that I can try out, some of them look childish to me, and I know I don't want to get anyone offended in this video, and I just want to come here and talk to you guys without any filter. So some of them just look slightly childish to me, and I know why that's the case, which I'm still going to touch on later on in this video. The other challenge I was having was obviously the weather, which I've been covering my hair a lot. I've been covering my hair in scarves. Every time I go out, I've been wearing lots of scarves. And even when I get inside, when I go to the place I'm going to, I still don't take off the scarf. So I'm questioning if it's really the weather and just wearing scarves outside, when I'm walking on the streets, or if it's me being ashamed of showing my natural hair, because I'm still not taking off the scarves when I'm indoor. And the last challenge I've been having is dedicating time to style my hair. So with styling my hair, I haven't tried out different hairstyles because I wanted to style my hair quickly for these past couple of days since my schedule is pretty hectic at the moment, and I wanted to make sure that whatever hairstyles I was doing was going to last me at least a week. But the challenge came whenever I needed to go to the gym or I needed to go for my swim lesson, and my hair just looks like a hot mess. So on those days I would have to restyle my hair, which isn't bad. If I'm just styling my hair twice a week, isn't bad for me, but ideally I don't want to spend more than 2 hours or max 3 hours in a week styling my natural hair. So that has been a little bit of a challenge, knowing fully well that whenever I go to the gym or I go to swim classes, for example, I can't have my afro on at the gym. It's gonna look compressed, it's gonna look messy. So I have to style it into maybe 2 ponytails or any other style that will make it look tidy.
I agree with the point that when you have short hair, there aren't that many hairstyles you can do unless you use added hair. When I had really short hair, all I did was comb it out and go about my day, or I used the sponge to give myself the look of tiny locks on my hair. I thought I looked really good with that style, and I did it quite often. So if you have short coily hair, I recommend you try it out and then throw in some earrings. I promise you that you cannot go wrong with that look. On other days, I would wear a headscarf, but for the most part, I just used the sponge and called it a day. I think that having short hair is the best time for you to get used to wearing your natural hair out, because this is the stage where it is the easiest to take care of, and you don't need to worry about a style because you already have a go-to, and for me, it was the mini locks. I understand what she means by saying certain natural hairstyles are childish because we mostly see kids wear them. An example would be mini twist. I would normally see kids wear mini twist with beads, and the only time adults would wear twist, they were the large Molly twist. I think that's what they're called, but it's always with added hair. Do I agree? No, I don't. I don't agree. I understand, but I don't agree because there are other hairstyles that mostly kids would do, like cornrows that have these details or intricate styles. Kids do a lot of those, or at least on my side of the world they do, but adults also do them, and they don't call those childish. So I think at the end of the day, everybody is entitled to how they feel about certain things. I also think that this has to do with not wearing those certain hairstyles out enough. Again, I will use mini twist as an example. Look at how many women online with natural hair wear mini twist. So many of them. And from what I've seen, some say mini twists are childish, but notice that for the most part, they only say that when they refer to short natural hair. They never say that to women with longer natural hair. So my advice for anyone feeling this way is to try and wear your hair out more often in those twists or whatever style you think is childish. You might be surprised by how much you end up liking it. The whole point is to keep wearing your natural hair, and you will eventually build that confidence. But if you still don't like it, that's okay. Try a different natural hairstyle. There are so many for you to choose from. You will eventually find your go-to style. She then goes to mention the weather, and let me tell you, it gets really hot here. And so when you have your hair out, it will most definitely shrink even more than what it normally does. at least for me, unless I have a protective style in, that helps it stretch it out. So mini braids, they don't really shrink that much, but mini twists, they still shrink. Hot weather will always lead to dry hair, and so again, having a protective style helps minimize the effects of the weather. On colder days, my hair actually doesn't get as dry as I thought it would, because I would always see so many videos of people saying it's winter time, so they have to do this and that to keep their hair from getting dry. I always thought my hair would react the same, but not really. It's only on those hot or warm days that my hair may need a bit more moisture, and on colder days it's actually fine, so there's no extra attention needed. I also have used hair scarves occasionally, but when it gets too hot, there is no possibility of me wearing a headscarf. I would just embrace the extreme shrinkage, and when I get home, I made sure to use plenty of water and then follow with a little hair butter so that my hair doesn't suffer from the dryness. Now, with regards to not having time to style natural hair, I think that is a problem quite a lot of women face, and that makes them want to quit doing their natural hair. This is why I think that having a go-to protective style is easy, or any type of style is easy, and that is why I recommend protective styles a lot, because when you install one, you don't have to worry much about like which hairstyle to do next. You only have to worry about moisturizing your hair, because when you wake up the next day, you already have a style picked out for you. Pick a day out of the week where you know you have some extra time and do your hair. And please don't lie to me and say you have zero time, because everyone finds extra time wherever they can to do something that they care for. So if your goal is longer and healthier hair, you have to pick a day of the week or every 2 weeks depending on your routine and do your hair. We make time to go out to the gym, we squeeze time out to hang out with friends, so I am sure you can find a time slot to do your hair. And when it comes to protective styles, I know some people get bored and don't want to keep them hairstyles in for too long, so you can do weekly hairstyles. This week you can have one style, and then Sundays can be wash day, and then you switch your hairstyle. I keep my protective styles in for a month and then redo them or change to a different style. I can't really speak much about the gym situation because I work out at home, so I don't have to worry about my hair. And most of the time, again, I have my hair in mini twists, so I just tie those up and work out, and then when I'm done, I let them down to let my scalp get dry from the sweat, and that's it. This is why protective styles are my favorites. I know I have been going on and on about them, but they do make things very simple, at least for me, and mini twists are versatile, so I can do other hairstyles with the mini twists in.
We still need more representation when it comes to natural hair. Let's just be honest. When you look at movies, we watch Nollywood movies, we watch Hollywood movies. When it comes to the main character girls, they don't really have natural hair. It's always the wig on or, a nice braid on. And I wouldn't say there's something wrong with us wearing wigs or braids. I'll still come back to that in a sec, what I feel about that. But it's the fact that natural hair is always portrayed when women are suffering, or when they are broke, or when they are back in high school, when there's like a throwback shot. And it's like that altogether just makes us feel like our natural hair is not done. Like having just your afro is still you not making your hair. Your hair is not done. And this is also something we use with ourselves every single day, Let's say your aunt sees you with your afro hair like this. She's like, oh, what happened to you? Are you okay? Don't you want to make your hair? Don't you want to make your hair? It's like your hair is not done. It needs to be made. That is something we're already used to. And it's going to take a while for us to get out of that mindset that our hair in its natural state, in its afro state like this is not done. I don't feel like my hair is beautiful thing. When we begin to see our hair being showcased more and more in the media, in the beauty industry, in the luxury spaces, we will begin to have a different image of our natural hair.
I agree that we need to see more people who have our hair shown in good light in the media, but I would also argue that why would we want to find our value on what we see on the screen? I get that as humans we can be easily influenced, but we already know what to expect when the media portrays us. We know that when they show people who have coily hair, it's really good unless it's done by someone like Issa Rae, Which brings me to my other points. I have made a video about why we won't really see ourselves anyway, and to summarize it, it is because people with coily hair don't support people with coily hair. Some will say they want representation but will be the first to criticize someone, typically a woman, who shows up online or anywhere in the media with her coily hair and ask why her hair wasn't slicked back, why her edges weren't done, why this, why that. Now, in some cases, I do feel like yes, some people could have styled their hair better or chosen a different hairstyle, but that has to be said in a more supportive tone. Give solutions, not just criticisms, and claiming the texture is the problem when in actual fact it is just the styling, not the coily hair, that is an issue. But going back to the point I made about why we shouldn't wait for the media to represent us, because we already know how they will portray us. We need to support more people like Issa Rae. I keep using her as an example because she is an actress and director whom I have seen wear her natural hair with confidence, and I love the way she styles her hair. And so instead of focusing on the negative side of media, I focus on those that do show us in good light. If you want to get representation, support the ones who are repping you and stop trying to convince others who aren't to find you attractive and all of that. The media is the last place I would look to for representation. I have a gap between my front teeth and I was very insecure in my childhood years because I was made fun of. I never saw smiles that looked like mine unless it was SpongeBob or Goofy, and those are cartoons that constantly make a fool of themselves. I remember last year or 2 years back, there was a trend where people drew with a marker on their front teeth and pretended to have a gap, and it was a whole thing on TikTok of them singing a song. I don't know who the artist was, but she had a gap, and when she sang, she had a lisp, and so people would make fun of her. It was a whole thing. The only time I started seeing some form of representation was when I was in high school. There was about 1 or 2 TV presenters in my country who had gap teeth, but people still made fun of them. Now, I bring this up to ask you, how many times must I change myself because the media doesn't show people like me more? Let's go through a list. I have a gap, I have coily hair, I am black, I am African. So now I must wait for Hollywood to say nice things about me to feel good about myself. The point I'm trying to make is, why are we waiting for others to accept us in order for us to accept ourselves? It is called self-esteem for a reason. Self is the key word, how you view yourself. The way that you view yourself should not be dictated by others. I don't have that typical Colgate smile compared to my other family members. I'm the only one who has a gap, but now that I look at myself, I see that the gap actually suits me. I imagine myself now with a different smile, and honestly, I look weird. I cannot fathom not having my gap. It took a while, but I had to get used to smiling without covering my mouth, and now that I have found beauty in my uniqueness, I have a bit more confidence, and because I walk with a bit more confidence, I get a lot more compliments about my smile. People always notice my smile, compliment it, and then follow with appreciating my natural hair. It all starts with you. I also understand that with certain choices I make with my appearance, there are certain groups of people who will not find me attractive, and that's okay. It is impossible for the whole world to find you attractive. All I know is that because I choose to look the way I look and not change certain things because someone said something mean to me, I have peace and I can go out to the world not feeling like I'm worthless because Sensodyne didn't do an ad with someone with a gap like mine. Now, I also want to say that if you do decide to alter something about yourself, that is okay. If it's your choice, nobody influenced you. The important thing is that it was your decision and nobody, including society, the media, or anybody else made you feel inferior. You just decided that whatever it is you want to alter will enhance your beauty. So I would love to get your guys' point of view. I love reading your comments. I'm learning different perspectives and I hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope I was able to be clear in all of my points, but I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section.